We're here at Chavenage House, built in 1576, and it's the perfect backdrop to take a look at quite possibly the most iconic bike collection in the world. Starting in 1986, the bike famous for the battle between Greg LeMond and Bernard Hinault. And we're going to be taking it all the way through the 80s, not only looking at these bikes and their intricate details, but taking a look at the riders and the story behind each bike, of which is owned by one lucky guy who kind of wants to remain anonymous. So think of them as the Stig or the Mars Crusader of the bicycle collection world. So let's take a closer look at some of these bikes. This collection runs through from 1986 all the way through to 1994. Why these years? Well, it's all about taking the owner back to their youth, when they would idolise the professional riders, their bikes and their equipment. Not just any riders, legends of the sport such as Greg LeMond, Shaun Yates, even Lance Armstrong. And owning these bikes in our youth would have been near impossible. However, as we get into our more mature years, we quite often have a bit more disposable income to commit to our passions like this. And it's just amazing to see these bikes brought back to life. So let's take a closer look. Starting with the Vitus 979, Sean Kelly exact replica from 1988. Built around the 979 frame is a Mavic SSC group set, and something that's particularly cool is the Mavic 88 that is stamped onto the rear derailleur and the cranks. Very nice. A bike that would have seen numerous epic race days. However, this is an exact replica of the specification when it was ridden in the Paris-Roubaix. And over here, we've got the carbon tubed version, ridden to victory in the same year at the Tour of Spain. And something that particularly stands out to me as super cool are these brand new old stock Mavic SSC rims that are featured on this bike and the Paris-Roubaix version, and they've never even had a single brake pad on them. What sets this collection apart is the level of accuracy and detail to them. Not only are they in immaculate condition, but they are the exact specification as when they were last raced, which leads us on to the Bottecchia from 1989, the year of Greg LeMond's comeback. It's 1989 and Greg LeMond has dropped down from the #1 team in the world, Team PDM, and he's riding for Team ADR using the steel-tubed Bottecchia bike, and had minimal success in the early part of the season until he headed to the Tour de France when he used this bike, the carbon-tubed TVT frame. And it was the turning point of Le Mans' season when he famously took the win in the Tour de France from Laurent Fignon by 8 seconds. And this is in fact number 54 of 300 and a frame signed by Greg LeMond himself. That is super cool. Coming into the Tour de France under the radar and with minimal team support, it really is one of his most iconic victories, which leads us on to the tail end of the season in 1989. The bike that Greg LeMond used in the World Championships, a TVT carbon tubed frame, but this time featuring a custom colorway specifically for the race, when he took the victory in that famous sprint finish. It features a mixture of Mavic SSC components, both the newer and older components, because Greg LeMond was a rider searching those marginal gains in every sort of performance and intricate detail that he could. Think of him as the Team Ineos of 1989. What a year it was, not only for Greg LeMond, but for the sport in general. For a collection of bikes based around the 1980s, this is one of only 3 bikes from the 1990s. The 1994 Eddy Merckx frame of Lance Armstrong and the Motorola team. And if you're not a fan of Lance Armstrong, think of it as the bike of Shaun Yates from the 1994 Motorola team. It features the beautiful Dura-Ace 7400 group set, the Flight titanium saddle and a titanium stem. And it's the era where we're starting to see a nod towards innovation and technology. I mean, this even features STI shifters, and it's one of the most modern bikes in this collection. That's what this collection's all about. Not only are the bikes amazing, but each one has a unique story behind it, linked to a specific moment in cycling history. And as I'm sure you can imagine, a collection of this level does come with a price tag attached to it, of which is a closely guarded secret, but it's no surprise given the level of detail of every single bike. The level of commitment and the attention of detail that goes into building a collection like this is quite literally mind-blowing. And that's one of the main draws when doing this. It's just all about sharing the passion that goes into building this collection with like-minded people, sharing photos online, sharing the stories behind each bike, and scouring the internet to find the very best condition parts. None of these bikes have been bought complete. Each one has been built by finding individual components online that are in the very best condition. And seeing these bikes hands-on directly in front of you is truly amazing. Having assured me and their partner the collection is almost complete, I wonder what the future holds for it, but I'm told it's here to stay and preserve cycling history. Hope you've enjoyed seeing this amazing bike collection, and if you want to see a closer look at some of the bikes, consider subscribing and hit the bell icon to stay notified of our latest videos. That's it from me, see you later.